Hello guys, let's solve this Math Olympiad equation. To solve this, we will need a rule over here. A power to the m power to the n equals to a power to the m times n, and that's also equal to a power to the n power to the m. And we will use this in a little bit. But first, let's look at this equation. We will start up by using a little trick, and we will see that there's a fourth up here. And to make this maybe not simpler, but to make it a bit smart, we will start up by taking the power, all of it, and power to the fourth. So x power to the x, power to the fourth, and power to the fourth, and we need to do that on both sides of the equation. Power to the fourth. This rule over here, so this actually equals to x times to the fourth power to x power to the fourth still equals to 64 power to the fourth. All right, so what can we use this for? Well, now we can see that we have an equation here where we have this, and we could write this in another way if we define, let's say u equals to x to the fourth. Then we can write this as u power to the u equal to 64 power to the fourth. All right, so what do we do about this now? Now we have u power to the u equals to this. So if we can find a way to figure out how we can write this in another way, and make this number power to the same number, well, then we know what u is, and if we know what u is, we can calculate what x is. All right, let's try it out. Actually, we do know something about 64, because if we calculate and if we know that this can be written as power to the u, and if we take 2 power to the sixth power to the fourth, then we know that 2 power to the 6, well, that gives us 64, and power to the fourth, well, that's the 4 we have here. So let's just write this up here so we have this formula to work with. U power to u equals to 2 power to the 6th power to the 4th, and this is the same as 2 power to 24 because of the rule up here. All right, so, well, now we can again write this like 2 power to the 1th power to the 24th, and we need to figure out how to make this number the same as this number, and we will use this rule, and we will try ahead. So let's just try in our heads a bit. If I take 2 squared, I will get 4. And to get 2 squared, I'll need to divide this by 2. So I'll have 4 power to the 12th. That's not what we want. So let's try 2 cubed. So 2 power to the 3. That gives us 8. And to be able to do this, I'll have 24 divided by 3. Well, that's also 8. So actually this is equal to 8 power to the 8. So u equals to 8 power to the 8th, which gives us that u must be equal to 8. And I'll just line here so we can go further down and say, well, if u equals to 8 and u was x power to the 4th, well, then we know that x power to the 4th equals to 8, which gives us that x equals to fourth root of 8, and it can be the positive and it can be the negative. So this is a solution. We can test it by putting it into startup here, and we will get 64. And these are the only solutions because we can see that the function is monotonically decreasing when x is less than -1. It's monotonically growing when x is greater than 1, and in between it will never become more than 1. So this is two solutions, and they are the only solutions.